Professional wrestling has always been about pushing creative boundaries, telling stories in unique ways, and delivering moments that fans never forget. Over the years, WWE has experimented with countless concepts, from cinematic matches to outrageous stipulations that blur the line between sports and entertainment. One of the most fascinating examples of this came in 2018, when Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt clashed in the much-talked-about Ultimate Deletion match on WWE Raw. The match was a continuation of the broken, eccentric, and unpredictable Broken Universe that Matt Hardy had popularized during his stint in Impact Wrestling. Fans were eager to see how WWE would handle such a bizarre and over-the-top presentation, especially with Vince McMahon, known for having very strong creative opinions, overseeing things behind the scenes. Recently, Matt Hardy opened up about one particular idea he wanted to include in the match but revealed that Vince McMahon personally stepped in and said no. According to Hardy, the chairman of WWE wasn't comfortable with a certain spot he believed was too risky and perhaps too unconventional for a WWE audience. The origins of the broken Matt Hardy universe. Before diving into the specific spot that was cut, it's important to understand the foundation of Matt Hardy's broken universe. In 2016, Hardy reinvented himself with a character unlike anything fans had seen before. Speaking with a bizarre accent, wearing flamboyant outfits, and calling himself Broken, Hardy created an entirely new dimension in wrestling storytelling. The Broken Universe introduced characters like Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy, Queen Rebecca, Senor Benjamin, and even a drone named Vanguard 1. What made it special was its blend of dark humor, eccentricity, and cinematic presentation. Matches such as The Final Deletion in Impact Wrestling became viral sensations, with fans praising Hardy's creativity and willingness to think outside the box. When Hardy returned to WWE and later brought elements of the Broken character under the name Woken Matt Hardy, expectations were sky high. The Ultimate Deletion was WWE's chance to replicate the magic for a larger global audience. The Ultimate Deletion on WWE Raw. On March 19, 2018, WWE aired the Ultimate Deletion match between Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Unlike traditional in-ring matches, this contest was filmed at the Hardy compound in Cameron, North Carolina. Fans were treated to an eccentric, almost surreal battle that included fireworks, a dilapidated boat known as Skarsgård, and Vanguard 1 playing a role in the chaos. It was a refreshing departure from standard WWE programming, and while not everyone understood it, the Ultimate Deletion earned praise for daring to be different. It also highlighted WWE's willingness, at least at that moment, to embrace cinematic-style wrestling before the COVID-19 pandemic made such matches more common. However, as Matt Hardy has now revealed, not every idea he pitched made it to the final cut. The spot Vince McMahon rejected. In a recent discussion, Hardy mentioned that he originally wanted to include a much darker and riskier spot during the Ultimate Deletion. The plan involved a segment where Wyatt would be trapped and buried under something symbolic, further emphasizing the bizarre and sinister tone of the storyline. While Hardy was convinced that this moment would elevate the drama and fit perfectly into the universe he was trying to present, Vince McMahon didn't see it the same way. McMahon reportedly felt the idea was too extreme, perhaps unsafe, and possibly even confusing for the average WWE viewer. Hardy respected the decision but admitted that the rejected spot could have added an entirely new layer of intrigue to the match. Even without it, however, the Ultimate Deletion still stood out as one of the most unusual main events ever broadcast on Raw. Vince McMahon's creative control. This isn't the first time Vince McMahon has exercised his authority over creative decisions. As the longtime chairman and CEO of WWE, McMahon has always maintained tight control over what appears on television. Stories of Vince rejecting or altering ideas are common in wrestling circles. From changing match finishes at the last moment to reworking promos minutes before a show, his influence is undeniable. Some wrestlers have thrived under his system, while others, like Hardy, sometimes struggled to get their more experimental concepts fully realized. The rejection of Hardy's proposed spot highlights the clash between traditional WWE storytelling and Hardy's unorthodox creativity. For McMahon, the priority has often been ensuring that WWE appeals to the broadest possible audience. For Hardy, however, the goal was to create something memorable and artistically unique, even if it pushed the boundaries of what fans expected from wrestling. The legacy of the Ultimate Deletion. Even though one of Hardy's ideas was vetoed, the Ultimate Deletion remains a landmark moment in WWE history. It opened the door for future cinematic matches such as The Undertaker vs. AJ Styles in the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse match featuring John Cena and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 36. Many fans consider The Ultimate Deletion a precursor to WWE's eventual embrace of cinematic storytelling, especially during the pandemic when no live crowds were present. While it may not have reached the same viral heights as Hardy's original Broken Universe battles in Impact Wrestling, The Ultimate Deletion proved that WWE could take creative risks, even if not every idea made it to the screen. Matt Hardy's relationship with Bray Wyatt. Another key aspect of The Ultimate Deletion was the chemistry between Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Both characters existed on the fringes of reality, with mysterious, supernatural undertones. Their clash felt like a natural fit, with Wyatt's eerie promos meshing perfectly with Hardy's chaotic energy. Hardy has often spoken highly of Wyatt, praising his creativity and commitment to his character work. For many fans, The Ultimate Deletion was a dream match of sorts, two of wrestling's most eccentric minds colliding in an environment tailor-made for their bizarre personas. The fact that Vince McMahon cut one of Hardy's ideas doesn't diminish the match's importance but instead highlights the balancing act that comes with trying to merge two wildly creative visions under the structure of WWE. Fans react to Hardy's revelation. Since Hardy shared the detail about the nixed spot, fans have reignited discussions about WWE's creative process. Many supporters believe that WWE should have trusted Hardy's instincts more, especially given how successful the Broken Universe had been elsewhere. Others argue that Vince McMahon's cautious approach may have been justified, preventing a moment that could have backfired or been misinterpreted. Regardless of opinion, the conversation proves how much interest still exists around The Ultimate Deletion years later. It stands as a reminder of how impactful wrestling can be when it dares to be different, and how fans continue to debate what could have been if McMahon had allowed more freedom.